Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a mid-year update for my fourth grader. We are going to talk about curriculum we've been using, curriculum that we've stopped using, and some new curriculum that we're going to be trying out the second half of our school year. Alright guys, so like I said, today's video is going to be specific to mid-year updates for my fourth grader. I've already made and shared videos for my preschooler as well as my second graders, so if you haven't watched those, I will link them down below. I just thought separating these by grade level was going to be more helpful if you have someone in the similar grade or planning for next school year. Alright, so we're going to start this one off right off the bat. You guys, if you've seen any of my videos, you know that we changed my fourth graders math back in like September or October. We changed it pretty quickly into the school year. We changed from the Good and the Beautiful Math 4 to Saxon 5-4. And it was the best homeschool curriculum change I've ever made, hands down. I'm so happy I decided to do that. And I'm just pulling stuff out of her basket, so that's kind of the order I'm going to be going into. But this is Saxon 5-4. I know I've promised you guys videos on it. I'm so sorry. I had them filmed, and I don't know if you guys saw my update back in like, I don't know, the fall time. I had them all filmed. I had 3 different Saxon videos filmed. Plus a bunch of other videos, and I don't know what happened, but between my camera and my computer, everything got deleted. And so I basically had like 3 weeks of content just gone. And then in that time, we had family staying with us, and then it was right around the holidays, like right before all the holidays started. And so there was no way I could have redone all of that content. So long story short, I did film them. It's just they got deleted. And so I owe you guys those videos. But anyways, this is what Saxon 5-4 looks like. There's, what is this? The solutions manual, which is basically like the answer key. I like this because not only does it just give you the answer, it shows you how you should have solved the problem. And so if I'm really trying to help her figure out a problem, I know how the work should have been done, and we can normally get through it that way. So the solutions manual. This is her lesson book, so all of her lessons, practice sheets are in here. And then this is her test booklet where all her tests are. We do use Nicole the Math Lady, and so what that means is we use Nicole the Math Lady to actually teach the lesson. So my daughter logs on, she watches Nicole teach the lesson, and then she does the assignments, and then we also use Nicole the Math Lady's grading system. So she actually enters her answers in online onto that system, and then it gives her immediate feedback if it's correct or wrong, and she can fix the answers. So pretty much math is almost independent, except I just go over any incorrect problems with her and work through them. So that's really the only thing I need to do with her for math. And I already mentioned it, but we absolutely love it. I love it. So I promise I'll do more updates on that soon. We did start the year using Wordly-Wise 4 with, we used Wordly-Wise with both of my daughters. In level 4, they get 15 words a week, and there's 18 weeks of lessons. 20 weeks of lessons. So more words, more lessons than the year 2 that we were doing with my second grader. This was not something enjoyable for my oldest daughter. She did okay, and she's a pretty strong reader. She reads at a very high reading level. She's probably at like a 7th or 8th grade reading level. She has a very good vocabulary. She's pretty good with all of that stuff. And so this to her kind of felt more like busy work, as well as, I've already mentioned this, but just overall in Wordly-Wise, I don't feel like it's very consistent with the work. I feel like sometimes the questions they ask can be a little subjective to your thoughts, and so they're almost very tricky. And I'm not in the realm of trying to trick my kids. And so we've stopped using Wordly-Wise for my older daughter, and we're not going to continue Wordly-Wise with any of my kids this coming year. So that one is out on something we've been doing. We've also started the year using the Good and the Beautiful's Language Arts 4. We got through lesson 53. And we were kind of on and off. So with this, there was a separate writing and spelling book. So you would do a lesson in here, and then you'd either do a spelling or writing. when I first started the school year, I was like, we're not using that. We're going to use our own writing and spelling. And then I was like, oh, well, let's just give it a try. Well, it wasn't great. I don't think at a 4th grade level, it was the type of writing she should have been doing. I think the spelling was super off balance, and the exercises that they were doing didn't work for her. It could work for some, and that's great, but didn't work for her. And then the actual lessons in here themselves, I think I've already mentioned it, but the art lessons and geography lessons are fantastic. The language arts lessons, they're a waste of time, to be honest. So we're done using the language arts book. I did a whole video talking about we're done with the good and the beautiful. So if you want more details, go check that video out. So in that realm, right, we've been kind of struggling with that whole writing and spelling thing. So I did have Evan Moore spelling. We got through like lesson 15. Is that what she's on? Yeah, and she's doing good. These words might be a little bit too easy. This is level 4. She honestly probably could have gone up to level 5. It's just a cut and dry spelling. You get a weekly word list. They have random things you do with the words, you know, for lessons. Then you take a test. I mean, it's pretty point blank. If that's the kind of spelling you want, go for it. The only reason that we don't use it is she just kept getting all the words right. And so I feel like it wasn't at the right level for her. So we're with that. Maybe we'll just get level 5 or 6. I don't know yet. I haven't fully made a decision on spelling. I don't even know if she needs a standalone spelling curriculum anymore. Also, we're trying out Building Writers. So this is from Learning Without Tears. This is like their writing curriculum, like essay and stuff. I really liked the way it was laid out. And she is doing good. So like she did different like dialogue activities. She did showing sequence, different feelings, how to add like feeling into your writing, learning to write a good sentence, a better sentence, and the best sentence. So she did a couple things like that. She's getting into writing fables. And so this is okay. I don't want to say it's bad. It's okay. The only thing that like I struggle with is like there's only 1 page of instruction and it's just very basic, and I can even tell going all the way through it's just still a very basic level of writing, which is okay. But again, I think this is level E. This may be better suited for like a 3rd grader, even a 2nd grader at like the end of a 2nd grade year. So up until this last week, when we got back from holiday break, she was still using Evan Moore's spelling and Building Writers writing. But after being back from break, we did decide to kind of switch and try something else, which I'll talk about in just a few minutes. I just want to get through the rest of her bin. All right, so other things that we've been working on, I think kind of since like my last update, is we've done 2 Gather Round units. We started with the North America unit. We did 5 lessons and we absolutely loved it, but then it kind of started running into like our holiday units, and so we just kind of said we'll start that at the end or the beginning of the year, and so we put this on hold. And then during the holidays was a good time to start their history. So we did the U.S. History Unit 1, which is the New World, obviously Christopher Columbus, Pocahontas, Thanksgiving. It fit really well into kind of our fall unit studies. We did finish this and we absolutely loved it. We did it together, so my 2nd grader and my 4th grader, and they can't wait to do the next one. This is the only history program that we've ever stuck with, and thoroughly enjoyed, and can't wait to do the next unit. With that, we've been making our history timelines. This is actually from Bookshark. These are really great timeline books. Even if you don't use Bookshark's programs, you can buy these books. They're awesome. They do sell like timeline figure stickers to put in the books specific to their curriculum. What I decided to do is each of my kids will have this timeline book, and we're just going to use it throughout all their homeschooling, all throughout all the history. I just went on Canva and made my own little image stickers and printed them on sticker paper. So like you can see, this is where she just pasted those. And so this is her history timeline book. As we grow, as we do different curriculums, we can add in little important timeline events that we want to, and then our books will be full and great reference tools. All right, let's talk about books my 4th grader read. Now, she is not as big of a fan of reading as we'll say her sister is. She reads if she has to, but she does not read in her free time. It is a, you need to go read for 20 minutes. That's about all we're gonna get out of her as far as reading. I did start recently letting them listen to audiobooks, and she actually really enjoys those. So if you have a kid that's a little bit more reluctant or not as eager to read, try audiobooks. I even will have them have like the physical book and then just follow along on the audiobook. So we did that on a couple unit studies where they were both listening, and it worked out really well. So anyways, so these are the books that she's read, I think since I did like our last update. A lot of them are Bookshark assigned readers, because that's what they are. I am missing some because her and her sister did read like the same book. And so those, I don't know where they are. They could be in the other basket. So A Lion to Guard Us was one of the books she read, which is with regards to American history, and she really liked that. She read this Captain Underpants book, which I'm not a fan of, but there we go. Pedro's Journal she read. Pocahontas and the Strangers. The Peacemaker. And Goosebumps Most Wanted. This was her reading book throughout our Halloween unit. I do know a couple more. Who Was Christopher Columbus? What Was the First Thanksgiving? Those Who Is, What Was books. I know those were the books that they were sharing. So there was probably another two that I can't remember that. Oh, there was a Squanto book. The First Thanksgiving book. So I know there's about 4 other ones that she read during our fall time as well. But her sister probably has them somewhere. So those are her books. Upcoming, the only specific book I have planned is Charlotte's Web. We are going to be doing a unit study on Charlotte's Web. And so that will be the book she reads. It's way below her reading level, but we're going to do it together, and we're going to love every single bit of it. Now on to fun new stuff. If you've already watched my 2nd grade update video, you guys kind of already know what I'm going to say. But we are trying out, and specifically more for my 4th grader. My 2nd grader is doing it with us, but I don't think it's going to be what my 2nd grader uses. I think it's more aimed for my 4th grader going into 5th grade. So we are trying out IEW's program. We are trying out the Fix-It Grammar level 1, and then we're trying out the Structure and Style level A year 1. And so if you didn't know, you can get 3 weeks free, which it's the actual curriculum. You just have to print it out. You get the videos, you get everything you need for 3 weeks. And so we just started doing it, and guys, my 4th grader, my oldest daughter, is not one to want to just try new things to try it. She really likes, this is what I need to do. I want to get it done so I can go do these things. And so anytime I'm like, hey, you want to try this curriculum? She's normally not my guinea pig, because she just doesn't want to. My 2nd grader, on the other hand, loves it. So I was a little hesitant with doing this. Like, hey, I have this curriculum we're going to try. I only have it for 3 weeks. That's it. And I just like kind of knew. So I'm like, look, like we're just going to get through it. Like I like had this whole speech, and like she was just in a very patient mood that day. And so she's like, all right, let's try it. I'm telling you guys, she was engaged within 5 minutes and has actually been asking to do these lessons. And for one, something on the topic of writing, which she doesn't like writing, she doesn't like public speaking, and for her to become so like immersed in this course and engaged that quickly, I was like, wow, maybe this is something magical, because you do hear it. You hear it from so many other homeschool parents, and it's like, is it really that great? Like, how could it really be that great? I'm telling you guys, we started week 2 within week 1, because they just liked it so much that she's like, all right, so are you buying the rest of it? Like, are we going to have the rest after, next week ends? I was like, oh, I don't know. I guess I am. So I really like it. It's hard for me to say, like, is the actual curriculum good, because we're only on the 2nd week, and we haven't even written a paper yet. It's more like just like the learning process that we're going through. And so I'll do more updates on it. But if I can get her that excited and happy about a curriculum, then that is normally something that I'm going to tend to want to use. Just like with Saxon Math, I knew instantly within a day of using that curriculum, there was like a switch that flipped, and Does she like sitting doing math for an hour? No, she would rather be hanging out with her friends or drawing or playing outside, but it's not this, she knows she has to do it and she's not miserable doing it anymore as far as like math curriculum. And so if we can find something like that for like language arts, I think we'll be in a lot better place. So I'm trying out IEW with both my daughters, but I do more specifically think it will be for my 5th grader next year. So that's where we're at with that. And then we are also trying out something together, moving beyond the page. I've never tried moving beyond the page. It was recommended to me. And so we are doing a language arts unit on Charlotte's Web. Charlotte's Web was already a book I wanted to do a unit study on this year. And so that kind of was like, all right, it was already in the plans, but let's try the moving beyond the page curriculum with it. And then moving beyond the page, they actually offer like all subjects as part of their curriculum, but you can actually piece together like their language arts and their science. And so we're doing the Charlotte's Web language arts with the water cycle science, and they're supposed to go together. And so we're starting those next week, where we're going to be doing the 2 lessons a day, and that will be our language arts, and that will be our science that we're doing for like the next month. So I will be sure to update and report back on all of those new things that we're going to be trying out. Lastly, the only other thing is when we first started the school year, my daughter was taking an online American Sign Language course. That was the language she chose to learn. The program we were using, it was okay. However, there was like the whole portion that I really liked about it, where it was like you had to do a homework assignment where you recorded yourself doing sign language and you would turn it in for feedback. Well, we never received feedback. Like, she kept doing all these homework assignments and the teacher never responded. I kind of let that just die out the couple months I had paid for it, and I am excited. We're going to be trying a new American Sign Language course. It is again online, and as soon as we try more of it, I think she's done like the first 2 lessons so far, but once I get more information on it and I feel like it's worth sharing, then I will make its own video on that. But that is her foreign language that she does, is American Sign Language, versus my 2nd grader who does Spanish. All right, so I think that's it. At this time, I don't have any more updates, but if there's a curriculum or something that you've heard me mention before and you're like, where'd that go? What are you guys doing? Leave it down below in the comments. I try to do this by just grabbing like their school basket, but that doesn't mean there could be a curriculum book laying around that I'm forgetting something. So if you have questions, leave it down below in the comments. Don't forget that I already made my mid-year update videos for my other kids, so go check those out. And if you're excited to hear all about these new curriculums we're trying out, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Have a wonderful day, guys, and we will chat soon. Bye.